So, what happens when you have to negotiate with someone you absolutely cannot trust? I mean, when all faith is completely, totally gone? Well, we're about to find out. We're going to listen in on a raw, unfiltered phone call between a scam victim and their scammer. And trust me, this isn't just an argument. It's a masterclass in how you get leverage when words mean absolutely nothing. And boom, we're dropped right into the middle of the conversation. That's the first thing you hear. It sounds calm, right? But you can just feel the tension underneath. Notice, the question isn't why did you do this? It's how are we moving forward? This isn't about feelings anymore. It's pure strategy. It sets the stage for a really high-stakes negotiation. All right, let's get the full picture here. This is not some simple two-person disagreement. Oh no. As you're about to see, this thing has spiraled way out of control. We're talking lawyers, we're talking broken legal agreements, and a whole network of other victims. At its heart, the conflict is brutally simple. Money's gone, yeah, but that's almost not the main point. The real issue is that trust has been shattered over and over again. So every single word in this phone call is carrying this massive weight of past lies. And that's what makes this whole thing so fascinating to break down. And this is why the situation has gotten so big. The victim is not alone, not by a long shot. They mentioned being in touch with over 100 other people who are all looking for the same answers, all trying to get their money back. So you see, this isn't a private fight anymore. It's become a group effort, and that just completely flips the power dynamic on its head. So pay close attention to the scammer's first real move. It's not an apology, it's not an explanation, it's a request to isolate the victim, to cut them off from the herd. It's a classic move, right? Try to regain control by breaking up the group and forcing a one-on-one conversation. But it is way, way too late for that. And there's the shutdown. The victim just lays it out. Look, this is bigger than me now. They've basically become this hub of information for everyone else, but they can't control what 100 other angry, determined people are going to do. The scammer thought they were negotiating with one person. Nope, they're negotiating with the massive consequences of their own actions. Now, to really get why this phone call is so incredibly tense, we have to look back, because this is not the first time they've tried to sort this out, not even close. There's a long, documented history of agreements that have been made and then completely ignored. And this right here just lays the whole problem bare. On one side, you've got the scammer pleading, please just give me this last one, asking for yet another chance based on nothing but words. But on the other side, you have the cold, hard reality. They had a written agreement with a lawyer involved, and even that was ignored. A legal document meant nothing. And this question really gets to the heart of the victim's mindset. I mean, think about it. If a legally binding contract was broken, what possible value could another spoken promise have? It's like the basic currency of this negotiation. Words, promises, trust. It's all become worthless. Okay, so the scammer realizes that just begging isn't going to work anymore. So they switch tactics. They try to solve the problem by throwing some money at it, putting a concrete number on the table to try and make this whole nightmare just go away. And the offer is $50,000 a month. Now, on the surface, that sounds pretty good, right? It's a specific plan, a big number. It's designed to sound like a real concrete solution, a way to finally start cleaning up the mess and moving on. But the reaction is just instant. There's no relief, no excitement. It is pure, unfiltered skepticism. You hear it in the voice. The victim immediately connects this brand new promise to the mountain of old, broken ones. The number, 50,000, is completely irrelevant because the person saying it has zero credibility. And that is the crucial point here. This was never really about the amount of money. The scammer thinks the problem is a logistical one. How do I pay it back? But the victim understands the problem is much, much deeper. It's fundamental. How can I believe a single word that comes out of your mouth? So this brings us to the real turning point of the call. We've hit a dead end. Verbal promises, no matter how big or specific, are officially worthless. The victim now needs something completely different, something real, something they can touch. And there it is, the ultimate demand. This is the climax of the entire negotiation. It's not about monthly payments anymore. The demand is for the scammer to sign their houses over into the victim's name as collateral. It sounds shocking, right? A huge escalation. But when you think about the history here, it's actually the only logical step left. Now let's be really clear about what's being asked for here. This isn't about revenge. It's not about permanently taking the houses. The victim even says, once the debt is paid, you get them back. This is all about security. It's about creating a real, tangible guarantee where none exists.
And this is maybe the biggest takeaway from this whole thing. The victim calls it reassurance. You know, in a normal deal, reassurance might be a firm handshake or a signed contract. But when trust has been completely vaporized, reassurance has to be something you can physically hold. It becomes a tangible, high-value asset held as collateral.
At the end of the day, those houses are the only promise the scammer can make that has any chance of being believed. And why is that? Because if they break this promise, the consequences are immediate and severe. They lose their property. It completely shifts the risk away from the victim and puts it right back on the shoulders of the person who caused all this damage in the first place.
And really, that's what this entire raw negotiation boils down to. It shows us that a promise is only as strong as the trust it's built on. And when that foundation crumbles to dust, the promise is worth zero. The only thing that has any value left is collateral, a hard asset that can't lie, can't make excuses, and can't change its mind. It is a really stark lesson in the true, tangible cost of broken trust.